Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've enjoyed the discussions today and the narratives. I appreciate them, I honestly do. Helps me think through things. I want to clarify a few things and then I'll close up if I may. If I'm the last one, and if I'm not, then we'll listen some more and I'll try again. We're not Kansas, never will be, don't want to be, ain't going to be. This is entirely different. We make sure our revenues are up before we have any decrease. We're not getting out too far above or too in front of our skis. We have triggers, we have safeguards, we have pauses. There's no definite down except for the 5 to 4, and the 5 to 4% is contingent upon House Bill 1 and what this body has stated in a bipartisan vote, putting priorities out. And still, after hitting those priorities of record funding in education, Medicaid up, pensions up, across the board up, law enforcement up, incarceration, covering everything that everybody's talked about today. We appropriated those funds and put them out there in an effective way that the issues can be addressed. And after doing that, Mr. Speaker, we still had $1.5 billion into the Reserve Trust Fund, record highs on our proposal, and $1.1 billion worth of funds unappropriated. After everything's dealt with and the priorities are stated, and we put record funding in and had record reserves, we had unappropriated funds. Don't be afraid. I heard be bold back then. Be bold, be bold. Be bold, but be bold only when it comes to spending taxpayer money. Tax and spend it. Frankfurt knows how to do it. We have more things to get to. We have more wants than we could possibly tax, is what I hear. Don't be so scared. It's not your money. It's the taxpayers' money. And after you've hit appropriations and after you've covered all the ground and you put record funding in and you've got your savings account well positioned, you have money left over, then get it back to the taxpayers that put it in here in trust for us for their benefit. We have to do that. There are a myriad of ways to do it. This is a very effective way because what do we do in House Bill 8? We stop taxing production. Well, what does that mean? You know what? If I'm sitting across a state line and I'm an industrious entrepreneur, going to be a sole prop, going to do something, want to work somewhere and I see good jobs in Kentucky, I'm going to be encouraged to come to Kentucky because I want to produce something. I want to make something. I want to make something for myself, my family, my friends, and my community. And I can better do it where I'm not having money taken out of my pocket unnecessarily every single week because people in Frankfurt think they can tax and spend and do it better than anybody else, and we can redistribute money and make those decisions better than the people that actually have it going into the pockets in the first place. I say that's wrong. Stop that old thought process. Tax it, spend it, tax it, spend it. We had a good 100-year history of that here. And our numbers and our results are not appealing at all. Our economic development wasn't appealing. Nothing was appealing. You know what? Those things are changing. And this is another step in that change, and it's going to be a very positive change. And don't worry, if we have more people moved into Kentucky, that's a good thing. And if we have people move into Kentucky because they can make a better living and get more money in their pocket, that's a good thing. It's a very good thing. I'll give you a specific example. All the other factors that have been talked about, I find extraordinarily interesting. This is real world. No research on this one. This is real world, where I'm at. And I can show you instances all up and down the Kentucky-Tennessee line. For some reason, Mr. Speaker, there's all kind of development in housing, occurs in Tennessee. And I'm not sure if it's the environmental climate change that happens at the state line, or if it's some other factor that's been mentioned that just, I don't know, there's coal dust somewhere that just stops at the state line. That there's some kind of physical factor that keeps people from relocating and deciding, I want to put my house right on the edge of Kentucky or further in Kentucky. They stop at an imaginary line. You can take pictures. Google it. Look at it. It's real world. People make decisions on tax structure. Those that want to produce go somewhere where they get the most in their pocket for their labors. Why do we want to reach in their pocket and say, we know you worked hard, but we want part of it. We think we can spend it better than you can. Those people are not going to move to Kentucky, and this makes them go, I want to be in Kentucky. They will build past that imaginary line. They will come in here. We will have population. We will have workforce. And it's just good policy. It's good policy. Stop being afraid and stop trying to look for that last 96-year history and go, but this year it's going to be different. It's insanity. Repeating the same approach over and over and over again and getting the same result, but it's going to be different. If we could just tax more and we could spend a little more, throw a little money at the wall, it'll be different. Wrong! Good Lord, stop the insanity. Have some physical discipline. Make good budgeting. Cover your priorities. Be very trust-oriented with the taxpayer money. And when you have unappropriated funds, send it back to those people that are working hard and want the money for their families. Give it back to them. Mr. Speaker, I like House Bill 8. Thank you.